Hello everyone. I know that I didn't tell you I'm going to be live, but today we are going to be making some shower steamers. I just need to make a couple for somebody I know. These ones are going to be a beautiful lavender. That's why I have a tiny bit of mica in here. We're going to put some gloves on, and I'm just going to let you watch me make them while I talk a little bit about shower steamers. So there's a couple different ways you can do them. You don't have to do them, with the menthol crystals and things like that, even though that's how I actually do make mine. So, and they are a pretty good seller. I find that last year used to be more bath bombs, and this year I think are shower steamers. So, trends come and go, my friends. But so inside here, just to let you know what I have some beautiful bicarbonate soda. Then I do have some kaolin clay, and what else do I have in here? Some cream of tartar, because that's going to help it get hard. And so the cream of tartar and the kaolin clay is literally what is going to make, the shower steamers get hard. So pretty much what I do is I put all of the dry ingredients into one, which I've got here, and I'm just going to put a tiny bit more mica. And the only reason I put the purple mica is just to be able to distinguish which one is which, even though I do put mine in boxes. I've had professionally boxes made up. So this is a small batch, and so this is literally what it's going to look like. And then set aside in here, I already have my oil sort of mix. So all that's in here is essential oil lavender is in here, and then I also do have some apricot kernel oil. So now I get asked all the time, why do I put the oil? Because people say there's no benefit with the oil. You're right, there isn't a benefit because this is not for the skin. But what the benefit, I wouldn't even say benefit, but what the good thing about having oil in here is it acts as a combiner. It literally helps to combine all of everything that we've got in here. So, and then of course I have a tiny baby little citric acid in there, which that's a very expensive way to make it, but this is for a friend and I promised her that I would make it. So I thought, while I'm doing it, let's just do this live. So I'm just going to get a tiny bit of mica. So inside here is the mica. Now, I used to get my micas from a company called Sud Off in Australia, but sadly they have closed. This environment's been tough for us all, friends. So they've closed. So I'm going to have to eventually find somewhere else to get them. So I will have to check out another lady that she was actually at my conference this year. Crafty Space is her company, and so I'll just check her out and see if she has any, and because I know she's got the glitters, which I do have to go to her for some glitter, because some of my candles on the outside have like a sort of glitter technique in them. So but anyway, for now, so it's, when you're adding mica, honestly, you need the smallest, weeniest baby amount. And if you can see, I'm just using this spatula just to kind of press it down. Now, if you can see how smooth it is, and let me show you. I don't know whether you can see that big white sort of dot here. They're the bits you want to get rid of, because if you don't, it will have an ugly, big kind of look inside everything. So there's no water in here. I haven't put water. Definitely witch hazel is a very helpful thing to add into these things, which you might add a tiny bit of witch hazel. But for now, I'm just going to literally add most of this in here, which, as I said before, that is actually, all the menthol crystals melted down. It's also, what else have I got in here to tell you? Oh, the oils that we talked about at the start. So, and now, remember, you don't want it to be wet, because if it's wet, it's going to expand, and I've had plenty of these expand. So hopefully you can still see, and I've kind of put my camera on this angle to show you. Now, usually I would put this in my KitchenAid that is deemed only for my soap product, but it's such a small amount that it'll kind of get stuck at the bottom. So I thought, look, we're just going to do this by hand, and it's going to be gorgeous, isn't it? Now, remember, once you go and add in the citric acid, it's going to change the colour a lot. So I'm going to add the smallest, weeniest bit of witch hazel. Now, one thing, if you do this and you think, oh no, that looks too wet, there is actually a solution for you. Just go and add some more bicarb in. That's all you need to do. And I'll probably try and show you how to do that today. But let's just put some witch hazel in. Now I'm going to add it. I've kept it in this old Heinz bottle. So all I'm adding in is, you know, that's only like half a, it's probably about half a teaspoon. Tiniest bit. You don't really even need it if you don't. And it is nice and sunny outside. So it's made everything very easy for us today. So let's pop that in. Now I'm going to add in my citric acid. Now, what I generally do is I only have 30% citric acid to the bicarb, where a lot of people will add 50%. But honestly, if you add too much citric acid, this is what's going to happen with your shower steamers. Your customer will get it and it's going to fizz way too fast, and then they'll be cranky with you. So you only need it to fizz a tiny amount. You know, like I said, if it fizzes too much, it's no good. Now, what you want to do, hold it in your hand and see, and you can see that's holding pretty well. But I do have a tiny bit more and I really wanted to add all of that in. So I'm going to add that in, and I'm just going to put a tiny more bit of bicarb in here. So, you know, you can just hold this and just add a bit in, and really, like I said, all this is going to do is it's just going to make it drier. So if you feel like you've made a mistake and it's a bit wet, and I think I did over pour before with my what do you call it, my essential oils, which doesn't matter anyway, it's only going in the shower steamer. So another way to do these is you can just say, well, I don't want the crystals in, I'm just going to put essential oils, and you can definitely do that, but it's honestly, it will cost more money for the product because essential oils are much more expensive. So if you can see it's holding quite well, although I do kind of feel like that's a tiny crumbly. So we're going to add a tiny bit more witch hazel, and you only need a small bit, and you've got to mix straight away because it has the citric acid, remember, and that will react with any witch hazel or water. But if you can tell, it's looking a bit gorgeous, and this colour is really nice. So this is kind of how it should look. See how it sort of looks quite dry still? You definitely don't want it to look wet or it's going to activate and go nuts. So now that we have got that, I have got these here. So this is the one I use for my steamers. I got this from Lee Molds. You can also get it from Cater if you're in the US. And then this is the little top, and it just has a slight pivot around the edge, if you can see that edge. So you don't want ones with too much detail, or else it's just not going to work. So behind me, which is a long way behind me, is my commercial scale. So I'm just going to put this on and double check the weight. All right, so I'm just tearing it out because I just want to make sure that it's going to be good, although I made a mistake because this one's meant to be in first. So let's just pop this one back in. It's always the way, I'm on camera and then I make it look all hard, you know, and it's really not. All right, so that's fine. I have weighed everything up. We just want it to look absolutely beautiful. And from here, all I'm going to do is literally just pop it straight into here. Look, you can do it however you like. Mine, these weigh 45 grams. And the reason I need them to weigh that is they need to be able to fit into the boxes that I've already had made. So, and you can see how it's quite powdery looking. And I am just weighing it on my scales, just put a bit too much in, so we'll take some out. Because, like I said, if it's not right, it won't fit in the box. And then we're going to put this, and let's move this. Now, what I wanted to show you is you can do this by hand. You do not need a machine. Just give it a firm push. That's it in your hands. And then it is going to come out looking beautiful. So can you see how gorgeous that looks? And you can see with mine, I don't tap it. I just literally take it straight out. And I forgot to get a tray. So let me get a tray and we'll pop it on the tray. So here is the tray. And as I've said before, you know, mine just come out. So it's going to come out pretty easy. And we'll pop it on the tray. Usually, if the weather is not good, you will be able to tell straight away when making these, because what's going to happen is, you know, you'll start to see them move, and you'll start to see this powder mixture move, and that means it's starting to activate. So if it looks like it's activating, don't do it, and start again. All right, so that is the right amount over there. Once again, we're just going to do this. And, you know, look, you can make this in a small batch of 200 grams if you really want, just to make yourself a couple steamers. It doesn't have to be, you know, heaps. You can just do something small. And if you get a little corner or something looking like having a little divot or something, don't worry about that. I mean, if you go into Lush have made an actual living, a multi-million-dollar company out of a product not looking perfect. And I think it's actually very, very clever. So once again, doesn't it look gorgeous? And I'm just going to take a tiny bit out because that was 10 grams over. And like I said, you know, the only reason I'm taking a bit out is because I have professional boxes and we want to make sure they're going to fit in there later on. And as I said, you know, all you're going to do is literally just push it with your hands. You can have the machine, which I do have a hand press machine, but that's as simple as that. Just push it up and hold the top. Now, if this top sticks, there's a reason. If it sticks, it means that what you've done is you've added too much oil or too much water. Or too much witch hazel. So anyway, doesn't it look beautiful? So that one is it for that one. And yeah, so as I said, this is only a bubba mix. I reckon we will get maybe 6 out of this mix. Like I said, it's just a small, generally it's a small amount. And if you're listening now and you didn't hear before, I always say that with citric acid, I'm only using about 30% citric acid to bicarb. And that's definitely a good thing to do, because you don't want to add too much or it will fizz too fast and then people will be a little bit disappointed when they get it. And you don't want them to be disappointed. You want them to go, wow, I love this. And, you know, look, don't go making these, everybody, if your weather is thunderstorming, if it's overcast, especially in Australia, because they will activate and not work. And look, these are very similar to, if we're honest, these are very, very similar to making a bath bomb. You know, they're similar, but obviously it's not a bath bomb and it can't be used in the bath because of the high amounts of citric acid. Sorry, not citric acid, the high amounts of essential oils that are going to be in these. And, you know, this is the thing too, everyone. You know, these kind of things can't be sold super cheap. So to give you an idea, for one of these that's 45 grams, I sell them for $7.99, and that's AU money. Because, you know, if I sell them any less, I'm really just not making any money, especially if you sell on a platform like Fair, because they're going to take 25%, 15 to 25% generally. So, you know, sometimes you might only make $1. The time you paid for all of this, your essential oils, the boxes, everything else, your time, you might only make $1 per one. So you have to really, you know, not put them at a cheap price. And somebody said something to me a while ago. They said, just because I can't afford it, it doesn't mean someone else can't afford it. So sometimes you need to just look and go, okay, well, that's what they're worth. And if someone wants to pay it, they pay it. If not, well, they can't have it. And, you know, that's the thing. We're here to make money. You can't be doing this and lose money at all, because it really isn't helping you or other small businesses either. All right, that is enough in there. So hopefully that kind of makes sense to all of you as well. And once again, it's going to come out. Like I said, you can see I don't tap it. I don't need to do any of that. If you have to tap it, it just means the mixture's too wet. So it should be nice and dry like this. And honestly, within probably 3 hours, I should be able to pack these up. Usually I don't. I'll leave it to the next day. But within, 3 to 5 hours, you should be able to pack them. All right, I'm going to add just a weeny bit more in here. And we are going to put these on. And I'll show you one of the boxes. I do have one already made up behind me, I think. And I had to do some more. I do have to do more peppermint as well. So I hope you have actually enjoyed my sneak peek of making something. And I thought, look, I'm making it. Maybe you'll just enjoy watching. And if any of you have left comments, I'm sorry if I didn't answer, but I actually can't see the questions. But I will look at all of them later. So that one is perfect as well. We are once again going to put its lid on. If you're looking for this one on Lee molds, this is the smallest one that you can get. And these molds here are considered to be their shampoo bar molds. This little square one, it's the tiniest one, so you can make these that will be anything from 40 grams right up to probably 65 grams if you pack it full, but mine are 45. And I've actually found that the 45 grams is probably the most sought after size in when we're talking about shower steamers. So and I am going to do some bath bombs soon. But they won't, I don't know whether they're going to be up this year because I'm getting some boxes made before I actually do them. And as I said, I've got a commercial scale to the side. That's why I'm moving them to there. All right, one tiny bit more. That is going to be enough. That one will be packed. As I said, they need to be packed to fit in. And you're just going to literally push it with the palm of your hand, squeeze it together, and then pop it out, and there you go. It's looking darling. So that's all we're going to get out of my small mix. What did I say? 4, 8. There's 9 in this mix for a friend. And I have a tiny bit more in there, but I don't really think it's going to fill one up, but we will try. Because you can see there's not much left in here, but maybe it will. Maybe it will make a small one that someone can use. Or sometimes if you have a little bit left, you can do a tester. So we will put it in there. It's probably only going to be 25 or 30. Gee, how clever am I? It was 28. So very close. We'll add that little bit in. So that's going to be 30. So this will just be a little freebie for someone. I might just add that in. I've had a order overnight for somebody ordering some steamers, and I can't remember what else. There was something else someone ordered too. So anyway, maybe they can get this extra little freebie. So there you go. It's just a tiny little baby one which broke on my way. So maybe, and when they're too thin, they'll just break. So I will see if I can put it back in here, but I don't think I'm going to get lucky enough. I might actually just leave it in here, let it harden a bit before I remove this little free one. Just the way it is, isn't it, friends? But yeah, I hope you have, like I said, really enjoyed just, watching the process. And in the day, this is kind of what I do, if I'm really honest. I spend a lot of time on the computer, an awful lot on the computer, which is fine. That's just the way it is. So I'm going to just take that out of there. I might just sit that just like that for a little while until it hardens up, and these will harden up soon. So the most important thing that you're going to use in this is, obviously citric acid, obviously, bicarb, you need that. I've also added in this one here. It's got some apricot kernel oil, some witch hazel, and it also does have some kaolin clay, and it also does have cream of tartar. Now, the one thing that you really do want in these is either cream of tartar or kaolin clay. And a lot of people ask me the same with kaolin clay. They're like, well, why do you use it? Is it needed? It's expensive for no reason. It's not for no reason. Some countries actually can't get cream of tartar. So kaolin clay is what they use for a hardener, especially in places like Dubai. I know one of my beautiful friends in Dubai. She actually can't get cream of tartar, so they use kaolin clay instead to harden things. So, you know, that's what I mean. There's reasons that I'm using things, and just because someone uses one thing and someone else doesn't, there's no real wrong or right. It's just whatever works in your recipe and safe to use. That's the most important thing. So now let me just go and get, I will actually get the boxes so I can show you. So here you go. These are all the boxes that I've had professionally made. They're looking beautiful, aren't they? I just love them so much. So this is basically on the front, what you see on mine, on the back, all the information on here. And this one has, I think it's had a little bit of oil spilt on it, so I won't sell that. It's got this dirty mark on that. But, you know, generally they should look neat and beautiful. This is the scanning bar, so that this scanning bar is always going to be the bar on these. And this little bit here is going to be, you know, so that they can click on that and go back to my website. That's really, really what you want. But anyway, that's a little bit about that. And we'll move these aside. And this is the thing too. So let me just get one of these. So can you see this is how it fits in here? You need to make sure that the box is like 0.5 centimetre bigger, or you know, maybe 3 mils bigger than the product, so that it's going to neatly fit in there as well. So, and you'll see lots of these things at the Australian Soaping and Candle Conference next year in Queensland in 2025. And please go over and check my new website. It was launched last night for the conference. No, not last night. I think it was the night before. I was up until 1 a.m. Very exciting. The conference it's the same website that you would have looked on before. There's links on everything. And you can actually just go over there and see my new site. It's looking so beautiful. And we have some absolutely amazing speakers. So if you want to understand insurance, if you want to understand tax, the business side of things, please go over there. You will actually love that. And we actually have somebody, we're so lucky to have this lady that's going to come in and talk all about regulations with soap and everything else. So we are very, very lucky to have those people next year. So if you want a ticket online or in person, just go over there, which is the Australian Soaping and Candle Conference. And after this video loads, I will actually pop all the information in. Thanks for watching, my friends. I'm going to see you on my next live. Bye.